Hey everybody, I'm back to do a little painting here for you. I know it's been a while. I'm here on the Tellico River in East Tennessee. A beautiful spring day. Just doing a little sketch here with some burnt sienna, get my composition established. Trying to keep it simple, first painting in a while, at least in a couple of months. Um, been working a real job here lately, and haven't had a chance to paint much. So, beautiful day like we had yesterday. This is just a perfect day to get out and paint. So, headed up in the mountains and stopped along the way here on the Tellico. Found this beautiful little waterfall. Caught my attention. It's one that I've not painted before. The thing that really I'm going to try to capture with this painting is this break of the water there that had like this really nice jade-like quality where the sun was cutting through. Oh, and while I'm sitting here thinking about it, I got a minute. I just want to thank all the new subscribers I've picked up. It's just funny. I've been away for a while. I haven't posted anything. I come back and I've got, oh gosh, hundreds more subscribers. I think when I last checked, I had like 150. Now I'm up over 300 something. So it's appreciated. Trying my best to do some good videos for y'all. We'll just keep working on it. This job I'm on should be over by June sometime, so I can get back to full-time painting and making videos. The intent of my videos is really just to provide inspiration. I mean, there's tons of really good, informative videos out there and inspirational videos. I'm sure you've come across some of them, and maybe that's how you found mine. But that's my main reason. I'm not a professional YouTuber. Just like to try to make a good video and show people what I do. So now that I got this sketch established, I'm kind of painting backwards from what most of the way people teach you to do oils, dark to light. I just went right ahead into some of my lightest value. Try to keep it clean. That was the intent. Because once you introduce white, white can get into everything, but also your dark colors can get into your lights and muddy them up. So I really wanted that nice, clean, kind of watery look there in the shadow. Even in the shadows, it's kind of a light value compared to the darker water in the background and as it breaks over the rocks there. And so I have a very limited palette. It's titanium white, cadmium lemon yellow, alizarin crimson, a very little bit of cad red light, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue hue, and some burnt sienna just to modify here and there. But I mainly just use the three primaries. The cerulean can really be strong. It's a hue. It's a phthalo-based pigment, so it can really tint strong. Okay, now I'm going to try to just quickly establish some contrast. Throw in this dark water, setting that contrast up right off the bat, can help and build the rest of your value structure. You really need to have those mid values too, but the strength of this painting is going to rely on that contrast there where the center of interest is, where that little breaker is, which you can't really tell it right now, but will be there in that left-handed third of the painting. That's what I generally, in the simple composition, I just look for thirds, drop my center interest in one of those corners where the thirds meet there. So like either in the upper right or upper left or lower left, lower right. This is a 9x12 oil prime linen panel, by the way, a Centurion panel. Pretty decent quality for the money, I think. I've been using them for years. I really like the surface texture. They're not too slick and not too rough. And that oil prime really takes oil paint well. And just it's a nice surface to paint on. You should try it sometime. Don't use anything. I kind of have a mix of brushes. I have synthetic brushes and natural hair brushes. Different. I've got some Rosemary's. I've got some Richardson Dakotas, which are the synthetics I use. They really stand up to the kind of abusive painting I do. A lot of scrubbing and stuff like that. I'm just loosely putting in the background here. Don't want it to jump out too much. I still want it to set back there. I mean, even though like the sun was just blasting itself in there, and there was this really bright neon greens and stuff back there. Just wanted to kind of establish that it's back there, but not overpower my focal point there with the breaking little waterfall there. Because that's something I've learned. I mean, you can't paint everything you see. If you paint everything you see, it just becomes a mess. You gotta let some stuff just stand back, and whatever you want to be the attraction of the show, put the emphasis there. Because if you put all the highlights on all the leaves and all the highlights on the water, you just lose what is supposed to be the center of interest that drew you to the painting, or to make the painting. So putting those mid-value tones in the rocks there, that reflected light, like I say, establishing some of those other rocks in the background. Like I said, once again, you don't want to get the highlight too strong on it so that it pops out more than the highlights on the water up here on the little waterfall. So it's all about balancing that stuff out. And here I am really wanting to get that. I don't know how well it reads on the camera here, but that jade, it wasn't really turquoise, it was like a jade green where that was breaking over that rock right there. Just really, I don't know, just love it. I mean, it's almost like, even though we're not on the ocean here, it's almost like a backlit wave breaking on the beach. If you've ever seen those kind of colors, I mean, it's kind of what it reminded me of. Pardon me, my allergies are a little bit bad right now. We got a lot of pollen in the air, so pardon me with the sniffles. And once again, kind of wanting that white water to read as this clarity. You can see the shadow behind it, but you still want it to be lighter value than the rock, obviously. So where it breaks over, it creates that waterfall effect. I'm keeping it all soft, keeping my edges as soft away from the center of interest. If you have hard edges everywhere else, and this equal hardness of edge as what you have in your center of interest, once again, that takes away from the center of interest. So just little things to remember. Anyway, wrapping it up here. I think it turned out pretty decent. I appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully I'll have another one up for you soon. Thanks.